Hey everyone, it's Chris Inman with I.D.E.A Cleveland, and joining me today is
John Stevens from Sales
and
Acceleration.
John. So you help organizations when they start having some sales issues, and the company's successful, but they don't know what's actually giving them a little bit of hiccup. Why don't you give us a little about your background and how you got involved in all this?
Sure. So 30 plus years of corporate sales, leadership, publicly traded companies, which leads to a lot of just frustration. And so a little over 5 years ago, I was looking to go run sales for a company, privately held company, didn't really matter what size, just so I didn't have to deal with all the noise and the politics that really holds back, especially sales organizations that are trying to move quickly and trying to move forward and pivot and be successful, but you run into all these bottlenecks from a speed standpoint or living quarter to quarter. So I kept, as I'm looking around, I kept bouncing into what is this sales acceleration thing I'm seeing on LinkedIn. So they did a pretty good job of trying to kind of stay in front of me, right, Chris? But then I discovered being able to work with small businesses is really my thing, and I've really enjoyed that. It's fun to sit across the table, even though we're sitting virtually across the table here. It's fun to work with business owners and put the relief on their face and start helping them. And big corporate clients and all that stuff that I've kind of historically been living in, those just aren't as personal and they aren't as fun. So this has been a great change for, in my career. Love helping small businesses.
So you come in, you meet with the sales team, you meet with the owner, you start dissecting everything, and then all of a sudden you realize, all right, where's the pipeline coming from? What's going on the other end that's actually sending us the prospect?
True. At some point, for sure. I mean, my questions are always kind of first surrounding, what does your sales effort look like? Do you have anybody in your sales team? What do they do? What's the coverage look like? And what kind of tools and resources do they have so that they can function successfully? Because they've got some sort of issues, and I need to uncover what those are. And then once I can uncover the gaps, then I can fill them. But along the way, there's certainly going to be a question mark surrounding how, if you're trying to proactively grow your business and not just reactively take care of the existing clients or customers you have, which is important, but if you need to find new business or proactively work to find new business, that's where certainly lead gen and marketing activities come in, and they need to do those things. They don't recognize that either usually.
Yeah. So you get involved in those conversations as well. Then you're like, hey, let's bring in the vendors. Let's bring in, maybe if you have a small team of 1 or 2 people that actually do it.
Yeah.
How's that been working out? Like in your experiences, are you finding these marketing people are completely confused about what's going on? Do you think that they're just, tell me what you think. I'm leading the witness too much here.
That's okay. There's all kinds of marketing options out there for companies, right? Whether it's kind of a full service agency, and then of course there's 100 different sort of tactical do the work sorts of folks that do and specialize in various things. So it does depend a little bit on what kind of budget they might have to spend, and because it could be that maybe you just help them identify a few options that can tactically execute, because maybe they got an employee that sort of wears a marketing hat, right? And they can at least project manage a few different outsourced marketing partners to execute some things that they need, that they don't have the capacity or maybe ability to do. But if they've got a larger budget, then maybe they can look at something that's a little bit more full service. It depends a lot on what they're trying to accomplish. And my involvement becomes really just kind of, I'm the tip of the spear sort of part of that conversation. I can help provide some really basic things for salespeople to find useful, whether it's some consistent messaging, or help them identify a value prop that they can quickly and consistently share with people when they want to know who they are and what are they doing. But I don't get involved much deeper than that, other than helping salespeople communicate from a marketing standpoint. The rest is, I rely on folks that my clients will recognize that are a good fit for them to do that stuff.
I've always thought, though, that the salespeople can find the ICP way faster than the marketing department could ever figure it out.
I think I'm a lot better at defining and kind of scoping out what that ICP looks like, because I'm going to talk to the people that I'm going to talk to the owner that's been doing it for 30 years in their life, or the sales folks that have been talking to their existing customers and or understanding who their best customers are and going through all that process. I think I'm better at being able to define that out and then handing it off so that the folks that are really good from the marketing standpoint can actually take that and execute and do some good things with it.
Yes, and I think that's one of the sales to marketing handoffs. The other thing I think that sales could hand back is case studies.
Yes, great tools.
You've lived things, and yes, those type of things. And then are those elements that you think are valuable within the sales cycle too to have?
Well, I think they're really important, because if you're in a proactive sort of, or maybe your role is business development, so it's only new logos or new business for a company, that's going to be an important selling tool, because they don't know who you are. They know who you are through you, and you're trying to help them understand what you have to offer is of great value to them that can help them. But showing them success stories or case studies that they can relate to, they're a metals manufacturer, and hey, here's a case study of something we've done for a lot of different manufacturers like yourself that has been really valuable to them, and this is their issue, this is what we solved, and this was the result, and this is the new reality for them. Those are great, because what else do they have to go on to try to process, are they a good fit for us or not?
Absolutely. And you work with a lot of manufacturers, so sales are completely, I work with service professionals, totally different area there. So in the manufacturing world though, is there like when you show up and you go, oh man, I can't believe you guys don't have a this. What is a this?
I try not to say it like that, but you do see a lot of things repeatedly, right? And it's not unusual that the compensation plans aren't really a natural extension of what the ownership or leadership of the company needs from that salesperson or that sales team. As an example, it's not unusual that you find those consistent issues that need to be fixed so that ultimately the sales team can deliver on what the company needs from them. But those things are really common. But it's really easy to be it's easy to be sarcastic, but you can't be kind of sarcastic about it and say, you got to be kidding me. You don't have this. Because it's consistent, and it's not that they've ignored something, it's that they don't know what they don't know, right? And ignorance isn't a bad thing. It's just something that that's one of the reasons why I can be there to help those people. They recognize that they don't know everything. They recognize they need help. They recognize that they can't fix it themselves, and they're comfortable looking to someone from the outside that can try to bring some different experiences and some different best practices and ideas that they don't have. And that is a benefit that someone like me does provide, the benefit of, I've seen a lot of different situations. I've seen a lot of different solutions to the same types of situations or issues, and being able to apply that knowledge that I've seen how this worked. And I think going down this path to solve this problem could work for you, because I've seen it over here before, and this is how we did it. Those are ideas, those are fresh ideas they don't have, and most people don't have, especially if you spend a lengthy period of time with a company. You tend to not be as aware of innovative, different ways of going about solving problems or trying to be successful.
Yeah, if people get too close to something and they're not really...
Yeah, you put it better than I just tried to describe it. You just get used to operating in your world, right? And then you start losing sight of the fact that there are other possible ideas or solutions that could really be helpful to you. And you just don't, that's when you develop this mode of, I don't know what I don't know. And then you have a hard time trying to fix things.
I think that happens also when people are developing marketing materials, because they look at their website and they're like, oh, look, I put up my rewards. We put up the name of every person that works for us and all this stuff, and it's all about them. But at the end of the day, that's not a sales material, because it's just a brochure about the company, but it has nothing to do with the prospect. It's actually there to learn if you're the right fit.
Yeah, and you've got to meet, and you know this as well as I do in our own businesses. You have to meet people where they are, and a client that we might have has to understand that they have to meet their customers where they are, and trying to answer the question about, what am I of value to you? Why do they care? And you can't just speak in broad terms of this is who we are. Not, you have to be able to say that, right? But you have to also apply that to why would that resonate with them? Why would it be meaningful to them, right?
I think also people think they have what the questions are that the clients want to ask, but in reality, sometimes they're not even the questions.
No.
They're creating content about things that are real relevant. They're doing all this, but I think that's the other thing is sales hears the real important questions. They hear the pushbacks. They hear what's actually happening, and I think that's where it adds value if they take those conversations and push them into the marketing content.
If what you're saying is people, especially salespeople, need to be conscious of having a list of proven discovery questions that help uncover the situation. Those are really important to have just as a guideline, but you have to be able to have a conversation, and you have to be able to listen because sometimes that conversation is going to take you in a different direction if you're really listening. And I certainly find that to be the case where, I have a certain plan of I need to learn what this person's situation is to see if it's something I might be able to help them solve, but it's always ends up it can go any one of 100 different directions. So just like, my scope of work, they're typically pretty customized. That whole discovery process becomes really customized too, because at least if I'm listening, if I'm doing a good job of listening, then I'm not trying to force them into a certain box to try to help them.
Yes. But you have a newsletter and you do LinkedIn and such, and the content you put out there needs to invoke an emotion. Like, this guy sees what my pains are. You understand what it is to book a meeting. Because I always make the joke, there's only one type of person that enjoys meetings, and that's the salesperson. Most people don't really enjoy meetings that much. Especially on the buyer's side, you're like, oh, do I really want to book another meeting? Like, because no one lives a monopoly. So the idea of the marketing material is actually to push them and saying, yes, this is the ideal answer to my pains.
100%.
And I think listening to those questions and everything, and that's where marketing can get better data on that ICP.
Yeah, whether it's the right terms, the right SEO wording, but bottom line is you're correct. Whatever is in my content is designed to resonate with someone so that it's memorable enough that says, and they can connect the dots into their own business, their own world, to discover how they might need some help in that area. Then you're hitting the mark, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So if somebody is running a sales team in the manufacturing world, what is one piece of advice you'd give them to either, stop doing this or start doing this, whatever the case might be? What would you say to them right now?
Okay. Assuming they've got the foundational tools and processes in place for their team, the best advice I could give them would be to properly and clearly come to an agreement on the metrics and the KPIs that they need their team, or that he or she needs their team to be able to be striving for, because those are really the light posts on the roadmap that helps them understand if I'm on the right path to be successful. So if you've clearly communicated how they can find success through those metrics and KPIs, then get out of the way. If you've done a good job of making sure that you're on the same page with them as far as the expectations, then get out of their way and let them go run as hard as they can and be there to support instead of looking over their shoulder. That's probably the best piece of advice I can give, assuming they've got they've got a good infrastructure there for the team to be successful, because that's really half the challenge, is that they've got the team with the right stuff to go out to the marketplace and win new business.
I love that answer. I've added into my sales conversations, what does success look like if we work together?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the end zone of what actually looks like you scored a touchdown, everyone's just playing ball for no reason, but no one really knows what winning looks like. And if you write down what winning looks like, we can all achieve that together.
That's the same thing they're doing in sales with their prospective clients or customers. They're helping them understand the current state. They identify what the future state needs to look like. And then the stuff in between is the value you provide in getting them there. So you have to show them what the future state looks like so that they can appreciate and value it and then want you to help them get there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, John, for joining me.
Outstanding. I appreciate it. It was fun to catch up with you.
All right. And thank you for all watching. And if you have any questions, comments, drop them below. Have a good one.